Just as we have the campus-wide theme of Be the Change this year, our Bible leadership class has a theme of being real. We want this theme to be the foundation of everything that we do and say. We want to be vulnerable with each other and create an atmosphere of authenticity where people feel safe to be honest and to share their hearts. There is no point in putting together videos of us getting up and speaking if they are forced and aren't real. So often, especially at a place like DC, it can be easy to feel like we need to fake our Christianity and to always be the good Christian student who has all the answers and whose faith is always strong regardless of what is going on in our lives. We want to start this change as a class, so that means that it first starts with our chapel talks. We can't force topics that aren't applicable to us, and we don't want to get up in front of everyone and say that our spiritual journey is great, even when we are struggling with our faith behind our mask. So today, we are going to dive into this theme and what it means to us.
So, like Kinsey was saying, this year we want to be brutally honest with the good, the bad, and the ugly. And honestly, for me, it's been way more ugly than anything recently. And I realize not every chapel can be about the goodness of God or the wonders of His love. And while that's all good and that's great, it's an unrealistic 24/7 expectation. Because if we aren't willing to be real and honest, nothing will ever get fixed. Not in our society, not in our high school. So how can we do it? How can we be real with God? The best question to start with is, why not? Why aren't we constantly real with God? For me, it's because it's not cool. It's not cool to be a Christian in our world, and it's also not cool to be a Christian at DC. I can admit that whenever I am in class sitting watching someone do a chapel, or in the auditorium watching someone do chapel, I get the urge to cringe. Or whenever I'm in class and I hear someone giving this super spiritual answer, I roll my eyes, or I fight the urge to. And while I claim to be a Christian, and I claim to be set apart, I get so annoyed whenever someone is actually following through with that. I like to think of my walk with Christ similar to a basic high school relationship. So it's like I'm the player and God is the one that I string along because I know He'll still be there whenever I get bored of this other relationship or this other whatever that I'm currently using to dull the pain. And I get so mad when other people string me along, but I am A-okay to do that to God. But God isn't your average side chick. He's not gonna realize that He's too good for us and then move on. He already knows that He's too good for us. And yet, He has mercy on us and He forgives us and He heals us anyway. It is a waste to sit around and wait for things to get better. And that applies to all aspects of life. It is a waste to know what will heal you, to have Jesus offering to take the pain away, and just not accepting. It's like we have the COVID vaccine, and so we know what will make this whole terrible year get better. And we decide, no, I don't want to, because being healthy isn't cool. I always think that being healthy, it won't make me set apart, it won't make me quirky, because it's this weird thing. It's quirky to suffer from a mental illness. There's this saying, good guys never win. Also, nice guys finish last. So it's like there's a good guy, and then there's also the bad boy, and they both like you. So are you gonna choose the good boy who you know will treat you right and make you feel good? Or the bad boy who will make you feel terrible about yourself, but will add some excitement for a little bit? The good guy almost never wins, or the nice guy finishes last. But we already know the outcome of the whole world. We know that Jesus is going to win. And with everything going on, I don't know how He will. but I know that he will. 2020 has kind of messed that up for me. I used to just believe without questioning that Jesus is going to win, but then 2020 happened and things just kept getting worse. And I realized it's because Satan knows that Jesus will win. He knows he's already won. So he's going to do everything he possibly can to make sure you're as miserable as possible while you're here. He's going to make you angry. He's going to make you sad. He's going to make you anxious. He's going to make you not believe in God. And then he's going to tell you to bottle it all up. John Mulaney once said, "I'm going to keep all of my emotions right here, and then one day I'll die." Satan hears this kind of thing and rejoices. Why are we giving him the satisfaction? Why aren't we opening our eyes and seeing Jesus literally offering to take it all away? Why are we still rejecting him? In the spirit of full transparency, in the spirit of being real, once you do open your eyes and start to listen, it won't get better immediately. For me, it got so much worse because now I had to face all of these things that I had been suppressing, all of these emotions, all of these experiences that are too difficult to deal with, or at least I pinned them that way. But you just have to remember that every time that you allow yourself to freely feel and freely share, it's one less chain that Satan has on you. So, like I said, I have this thing where I tell everybody everything, and it's not that hard for me. And that's good. That's the being real concept that we're going for. But where I go wrong is I stop there. I'm quick to tell everyone what I'm feeling about everything, but then I don't do anything about it. And there's only so many times that you can cry in someone's car or call someone while crying and have them give you the exact same pep talk and then do nothing. There's only so many times you can sit and listen to someone in chapel or sit and listen to your preacher and be like, yeah, that was really good, and then do nothing. Being real isn't the final step. It's an important step and it's a mandatory step, but it's not the final step. So like I said last year, I spoke in chapel about some of the things I was dealing with. I shared some very personal facts, like how I struggle with the temptation to harm myself, that kind of stuff. And afterward, people kept like patting me on the back, being like, that was so brave of you. Wow, I can't believe you did that. And that's all I did. I continued to allow Satan full reign after that. Things didn't disappear after I told everyone. I still had anxiety. I still had depression. I still was stupid. Now everyone just knew about it. But even then, I knew. If I offered this all to God, I'd be okay. But I didn't. And so things got so much worse. But eventually, I had this whole wake-up call and I realized that I wanted to be better. That's another thing. We are quick to complain about the things that we're going through, and then we do nothing about it. And so it's almost like, sure, we're fine to just sit here in our pain for attention. We don't want to get better. But eventually I did want to get better. And so I did. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that I'm A-okay now. I'm not. And I'm not going to claim that it was in any way easy. But I am claiming that being real with God, with others, and with myself is the only reason that I'm still here.
Nobody likes a trickster. Nobody likes a conniver. Nobody likes somebody who's running a game on them. But we've all been affected by people like that, or maybe we've even affected people that way. Well, it's hard to run a game on God because He knows where we're coming from. He knows why we're doing what we're doing because He's the motivational reader. He not only hears what we say, He knows why we said it. When you are willing to be honest with God, you'll find out that God responds to that honesty. You put the tricks behind you and you come clean with God in prayer, in communication with Him. You'll find out that God can use you because you're now being real. Let me put it another way. God doesn't deal well with fake. He doesn't deal well with like jewelry that appears to be the real thing, but it's really gold-plated or cut glass. He knows the real deal. He knows the real you. Honesty with God is the root to being used by God in spite of the tricks you played in the past. And we live in a world where you have to, do some things to get by, sometimes playing the political game. And that may be the way the world works, but that's not how greatness is in the kingdom of God. That's what Jesus told his disciples. You can't roll like that with me if you want to be used by me for good, for God, and for the benefit of others. So don't be like Jacob and be a deceiver, because you're not deceiving God, and it can come back on you like a boomerang, and you wind up being the deceived by the devil, who's out to trick you as you and I try to trick others. Come clean with God so that He can take you to where He wants you to be.
I've carried a burden too long on my own. I wasn't created to bear it alone. I yield invitation to let it all go. Yeah, I see now, I'm laying it down, and I know that I need you. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You saw my condition, had a plan from the start. Your Son for redemption, the price for my life. And I don't have a context for that kind of love. I don't understand, I can't comprehend. I know I need you. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Whoa, whoa, again and again and again and again. Whoa, whoa. My heart has been your sights long before my first breath. soul found a friend, so I'll run to the Father again and